There still is a thriving energy sector out here that's clear when you walk around here, and we're going to get it done, with or without the federal government.
Syd Fizzard for Rebel News here in downtown Calgary, Alberta for the second day of the Global Energy Show. In this report, I spoke with Cory Morgan, columnist at the Western Standard and author of the Sovereigntist Handbook. We also spoke with him at the Rebel News Regina Independence Town Hall event. But in this report, we're talking about the latest when it comes to Alberta's energy sector and the global vibe that people are providing when it comes to the energy transition. Now, you guys have a booth here at the Global Energy Show here in Calgary. What's the sentiment you're getting from the crowd, from the audience in regards to the future of Alberta's energy and energy in general?
There's a lot of optimism. I mean, this show is of course, quite an event and a lot of new technology being shared, a lot of networking between senior executives, but there's still always that tentative. What we're always hearing is if Carney follows through with what he's promising, if they're going to do what they're saying, things look really good. But everybody's kind of in a I'll believe it when I see it state right now. So it's tentative optimism.
Fair enough. No, and I'm certainly noticing that as well. But I've also noticed that the general perception around the climate change, the energy transition, it seems like I'm in the twilight zone. Everyone just forgot how demanding they were that we needed to do this because the environment was going to kill us all. And now it's kind of like, well, we need the energy so that we can help AI develop.
Yeah, I mean, the realities are that the alternatives never came about. I mean, we can have a separate discussion on how much impact conventional energy has on the world or whatnot, but we need, with things like AI and other things, the demand for energy is still just getting stronger and stronger. The alternatives haven't quite come there to fill it. So there's an understanding that oil, gas, those sorts of conventional energies are still going to be in demand. We just want to get more efficient with extracting them, that's all.
And how do you feel about the messaging that we're getting from the Alberta government? I mean, I just heard Premier Danielle Smith at her keynote address say that we're waiting for Prime Minister Mark Carney to resume the next session of Parliament for us to get a clear answer on, how he's going to play this situation. But we already heard that he had a deadline, and he had a deadline before that, I imagine.
I will soon appoint a special negotiating team to represent our province in negotiations with the federal government on the following reforms requested by our province. We hope this will result in a binding agreement that Albertans can have confidence in. Call it an Alberta Accord, if you will. If these points can be agreed to by the federal government, I am convinced it will not only make Alberta and Canada an infinitely stronger and more prosperous country, but will eliminate the doubts a growing number of Albertans feel about the future of Alberta in Canada.
When do you think Albertans are finally going to say, okay, this is the same as Minister Guilbeault, as we saw behind us, and Justin Trudeau?
Well, I mean, Premier Smith keeps drawing lines in the sand. I hope she realizes that tactic's not going to work unless you follow through with something. But part of what she has done, as we've seen, is empowered Albertans when we're talking about an independence movement and a potential referendum within a year. It won't be her perhaps who brings about the consequences if Mark Carney doesn't act on these things. It'll just be citizens themselves as the frustration and, boils over and people just say, well, we're not going to get anywhere within the Federation. Maybe it's time to examine a whole new deal.
Well, and I've also seen here we have a large China pavilion of attendees here at the exhibition floor, along with the United States. They have their own pavilion as well. Right now, obviously, Canada is in the middle of a lot of heavy players and tense situations. How do you see their, I don't want to call it the ground game, but how do you see these other countries approaching our situation with our new Prime Minister?
Well, I mean, I think they're looking with pragmatism, and they understand that there's a resource here that, it could benefit every country around the world if they can get access to those products, being sold to them. So, I mean, China has a presence here. They're reaching out more to the producers rather than the federal government. They're being pragmatic. We're not seeing the thing that's been interesting, aside from Mr. Guilbeault here, there's no federal representation here. The energy minister isn't here. I don't see a single Liberal member of Parliament here. This is one of the biggest energy shows on the planet, and they haven't taken the time to send a representative to it, which actually reduces the amount of confidence that they really plan on following through on developing our energy resources further in Canada.
And last word to you.
Just thank you for the opportunity. It's a really great show, and it's good to see that there still is a thriving energy sector out here that's clear when you walk around here, and we're going to get it done, with or without the federal government.
Hope you enjoyed what he had to say. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe that the zeitgeist surrounding the global energy transition away from, as they call it, conventional energy is still in full force? Or do you think that the waters have been muddied and perhaps there is a possibility that Alberta might see an advancement in their oil and gas sector? Let me know in the comments. For Rebel News, I'm Syd Fizzard. DoneGettingScrewed.com is where you have to go if you want to see the latest on the Western province's sentiments towards independence, which could lead down the path of separation. And for a limited time, get your tickets to our Rebel News live event in Red Deer. We're going to be bringing all parties together to have the conversation this province has been looking for when it comes to independence.